Welcome to my channel HD Rare Coins 111, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare US coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The year 2009 holds a very special place in American coinage history. It was not just another year for the Lincoln cent, but a celebration of one of the most iconic figures in the United States. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, was honored in a unique way, with the release of a series of 1-cent coins that told the story of his life. For collectors, the 2009 Lincoln penny is more than just a copper-coated piece of metal. It is a tribute to American heritage and a symbol of change in the world of coinage. When we talk about the Lincoln cent, we have to remember that it first appeared in 1909, exactly 100 years after Lincoln's birth. That coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, making it the first circulating U.S. coin to depict a real person. Fast forward to 2009, and the United States Mint once again paid tribute to Lincoln by creating a series of designs that celebrated his life and achievements. This made the 2009 penny one of the most anticipated coin releases of the modern era. In 2009, the Mint introduced 4 different reverse designs for the Lincoln cent. Each one told a different chapter of Abraham Lincoln's life. The first design showed a log cabin, representing his humble beginnings in Kentucky. The second depicted a young Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book, symbolizing his education and early years in Indiana. The third featured Lincoln as a young professional in Illinois, standing in front of the State House. The final design showed the half-finished U.S. Capitol dome, symbolizing his presidency and the challenges of a nation divided. Each of these designs was carefully crafted to give Americans a way to connect with Lincoln's journey. These pennies were not just everyday coins meant for small transactions. They carried meaning, history, and artistry. Collectors were eager to gather all 4 designs, and many people saved them directly from circulation as soon as they saw them. The obverse of the 2009 penny still retained Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which had been on the coin for a century. This continuity was a reminder of how deeply rooted Lincoln's legacy is in American culture. At the same time, the changing reverses added a sense of freshness, turning the coin into a miniature history lesson that fit right in your pocket. What makes the 2009 Lincoln cent even more interesting is that it marked the last year the coin would be struck primarily from copper-plated zinc before the shield reverse design was introduced in 2010. This transition added a sense of finality to the 2009 series, making it a collector's milestone. Now, while millions of these coins were minted, not all of them are the same. Some examples of the 2009 Lincoln penny are ordinary, found in pocket change with little more than sentimental value. But others stand out for their rarity, condition, or minting errors, and it is these that excite coin collectors and drive up their market value. Minting errors are one of the reasons why certain 2009 pennies are considered highly valuable. Double dies, off-center strikes, and other unusual features can turn an otherwise ordinary penny into a numismatic treasure. Collectors are always on the lookout for these varieties, and they can bring in thousands of dollars when sold at auction. Another factor that makes the 2009 penny desirable is its condition. Coins that were saved in pristine, uncirculated states often fetch higher prices. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified many of these coins, and those with perfect grades like MS67 or higher can be worth significant sums. The demand for 2009 pennies also comes from their cultural and historical importance. They are not just coins but educational tools. Teachers, historians, and collectors alike see them as a way to tell the story of Lincoln's journey from a humble log cabin to the highest office in the land. That storytelling power makes them an attractive addition to any collection point. One of the most popular designs among collectors is the log cabin penny. Its rustic simplicity captures Lincoln's humble beginnings and is a reminder of the American dream. Collectors especially value high-grade versions of this design, and when paired with the other three designs, it completes a narrative set that is hard to ignore. The Formative Years penny, showing young Lincoln reading, is also a favorite. It highlights his self-taught education and determination to succeed, qualities that resonate deeply with Americans who admire his rise from poverty to the presidency. Coins with sharp details and flawless surfaces from this design have proven to be especially valuable. The Professional Life penny is unique because it shows Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois State House, representing his career as a lawyer and statesman. For collectors who appreciate coins with strong historical themes, this design stands out as a representation of Lincoln's growth before becoming president. The final design, the Presidency penny, is perhaps the most dramatic of all. Featuring the incomplete Capitol dome, it symbolizes a nation under construction and the challenges Lincoln faced during the Civil War. Collectors who want a piece of history that embodies both struggle and triumph often gravitate toward this design. Together, these four designs create a collectible set unlike anything the U.S. Mint had ever done before for a circulating coin. The demand for complete sets is high, and collectors often seek coins in the best condition possible, driving up their market value. Special mint sets and proof versions of the 2009 Lincoln cent were also released, further adding to their appeal. Proof coins struck with extra care and polished dies showcase the designs and remarkable detail. These coins, especially when preserved in top condition, are highly prized. Beyond their designs and minting variations, the 2009 Lincoln cents carry an emotional value. They connect generations of Americans to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, reminding us of perseverance, leadership, and unity. For many collectors, this emotional connection is just as important as the coin's monetary worth. Over time, certain examples of the 2009 penny have fetched staggering prices at auction. Rare varieties, high grades, or unique features have made some of these coins worth far more than their face value. Collectors with a sharp eye for details and patience often discover that these small copper pieces can turn into major financial finds. The excitement surrounding the 2009 penny shows how even modern coins can become treasures. While many people think only old coins are valuable, the 2009 Lincoln cent proves that historical significance, design, and condition can make a relatively recent coin incredibly sought after. Coin enthusiasts often encourage people to check their pocket change, piggy banks, and coin jars for 2009 pennies. You never know when you might stumble upon a rare variety or a high-grade coin that could be worth a fortune. Stories abound of people discovering rare coins in the most ordinary places. What adds even more excitement is that collectors across the world are interested in these pennies. Lincoln's story transcends borders, and international collectors often compete with Americans to acquire the best examples. This global demand only adds to their rising values. The fact that a simple 1-cent coin, struck in 2009, can be worth thousands of dollars shows the power of history combined with rarity. Coins like these are proof that small details can create big opportunities for collectors. So, whether you are a beginner coin collector or a seasoned expert, the 2009 Lincoln penny deserves your attention. Its designs, its symbolism, and its potential value make it one of the most fascinating modern coins to study and collect. Every coin tells a story, but few tell one as compelling as the 2009 Lincoln cent. From a log cabin to the Capitol dome, these four designs capture the spirit of Lincoln's life, making them more than just coins. They are lessons in history. The allure of the 2009 penny lies not just in what it represents, but in the thrill of finding one that is rare and valuable. For many collectors, that moment of discovery is priceless. And while millions of these coins exist, only a handful stand out as the rarest and most desirable examples. Those few have reached remarkable heights in value, becoming legends in the world of numismatics. One such coin, a 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny, has been known to sell for an incredible amount, $75,000. Top 2. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has been one of the most recognized and widely collected coins in American history, and the 1971 edition is no exception. At first glance, it may look like just another ordinary penny, but for collectors and coin enthusiasts, Certain 1971 Lincoln cents hold extraordinary stories, remarkable details, and in some cases, stunning value. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it made history as the first circulating U.S. coin to bear the portrait of a real person. Over time, it became an everyday symbol of American heritage, yet each year carried its own unique features, minting history, and occasional rarities. The 1971 penny is one of those issues that continues to attract attention. By 1971, the United States Mint had been producing the Lincoln cent for over 6 decades. That year, the penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. Each mint played a role in producing millions of coins, yet not all were identical. Some pennies left the presses with slight variations or errors, which today fueled the excitement of collectors. One of the most famous varieties of the 1971 Lincoln cent is the double die obverse. This occurs when the coin's design is impressed more than once onto the die at slightly different angles, creating a doubling effect on the coin's features. On the 1971 penny, this doubling can often be seen on the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date itself. For collectors, finding such a coin is like striking gold. The San Francisco Mint in 1971 also produced proof pennies. Proof coins are struck with specially prepared dies and polished blanks, giving them a mirror-like surface and sharp details. These coins were not meant for circulation but rather for collectors, and high-grade proof examples remain popular today. Among them, varieties with striking errors or unusual appearances stand out as highly prized. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. While billions of 1971 pennies were minted, very few survive in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins graded at higher levels, especially MS-65 and above, can command premium prices. For the double die varieties, the value increases even more dramatically. Collectors often turn to grading services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, to authenticate and grade their 1971 pennies. Having a coin officially certified gives buyers and sellers confidence in its authenticity and condition, which directly affects its market value. The design of the 1971 penny remained consistent with earlier decades. On the obverse is the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, carefully engraved by Brenner, which has stood the test of time as one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage. On the reverse is the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This reverse design would remain in use until 2008. The Lincoln Memorial reverse adds another layer of fascination. If you look closely, within the columns of the memorial, you can actually see a tiny depiction of Lincoln's statue, making the design unique among U.S. coins. Such artistic details are what make collectors appreciate even common-looking pennies once they truly study them. For many people, the 1971 penny was just loose change in a pocket or a coin dropped into a jar. But for numismatists, it is an opportunity to uncover hidden treasures. Stories abound of individuals discovering rare double-die pennies in circulation decades later, turning what seemed like an ordinary cent into a small fortune. Part of what makes the 1971 penny fascinating is how it reflects its time. The early 1970s were a period of transition in the U.S. economy, with rising inflation and changes in the value of money. Yet even as the dollar shifted, the penny remained a staple of everyday life, carrying forward Lincoln's legacy into a new era. The Denver Mint in 1971 produced a massive number of pennies, and many of them survive today. Yet high-quality examples and unusual errors are still elusive. Some Denver-struck coins feature off-center strikes or die cracks, which make them collectible oddities. Each small mistake from the minting process adds to the uniqueness of the coin. Philadelphia pennies from 1971, lacking a mint mark, are also widely collected. Among them, the double-die obverse varieties are especially prized, with dramatic doubling visible without magnification. These are the kinds of coins that can bring tremendous excitement when discovered in an old coin roll or collection. San Francisco pennies from 1971 tell another story. The mint mark coins, especially the proofs, are beautifully struck and remain favorites among collectors. The 1971 double die obverse proof is one of the rarest and most valuable, making it a dream find for those who specialize in modern rarities. The allure of the 1971 penny lies in the thrill of the hunt. With billions produced, the chances of finding a rare variety might seem slim, but history has shown that treasures often hide in plain sight. Coin collectors know that patience, attention to detail, and knowledge are the keys to unlocking these rewards. Auction houses and coin shows have seen incredible results when rare 1971 pennies are offered. The double die varieties, especially in top condition, have sold for thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars, cementing their place among the most desirable Lincoln cents. Even for those who never plan to sell their coins, the 1971 penny remains a cherished part of collections. Its story connects the present to the past, from Brenner's original portrait of Lincoln to Gasparo's symbolic memorial. Together, they create a coin that is both ordinary and extraordinary. What makes the 1971 penny so appealing is that it blends accessibility with rarity. Almost everyone has handled one at some point, but only a few realize the hidden value that may lie within certain examples. This balance between the familiar and the rare is what makes coin collecting such a fascinating hobby. Collectors often recommend checking rolls of pennies from banks or old family stashes. You never know when a double die or high-grade 1971 penny might turn up. Many legendary finds have happened this way, reminding us that treasures can be hidden in everyday places. Beyond its monetary value, the 1971 penny is a symbol of Lincoln's enduring influence. More than a century after his presidency, his portrait continued to inspire generations, reminding Americans of leadership, unity, and perseverance during challenging times. For those passionate about numismatics, the 1971 penny offers endless learning opportunities. From studying its varieties and minting history to appreciating its role in everyday commerce, it is a coin that bridges the gap between history and modern collecting. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most collected coin series in the world, and the 1971 issue is a key chapter in that story. It teaches collectors about the importance of condition, variety, and rarity, while also encouraging them to look closer at coins that might otherwise be overlooked. Each 1971 penny carries a little piece of history, whether struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. For some, that history is purely sentimental, but for others, it translates into significant financial value. That combination makes the 1971 Lincoln Cent a true treasure of American coinage. The enduring charm of the 1971 penny lies in its ability to surprise. While most examples are worth only face value, a select few have soared to astonishing heights, leaving collectors in awe of how much a single cent can be worth. This is why coin enthusiasts continue to spread the word. Always check your change, search your old jars, and pay attention to details. Because hidden among the billions of ordinary pennies could be a coin worth more than you ever imagined. The Lincoln penny has always carried more meaning than its denomination suggests. In the case of the 1971 cent, it reminds us that history, artistry, and rarity can transform even the smallest coin into something extraordinary. And among these extraordinary finds, one 1971 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been known to sell for an astonishing amount, $145,000. Top 3. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has been a foundation of American coinage since its debut in 1909, and every year of its production has brought something new to study, collect, and appreciate. Among these, the 1980 edition holds a special place in the hearts of collectors for its details, varieties, and the potential for hidden treasures worth far more than a single cent. By 1980, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 70 years. Becoming one of the most widely recognized coins in the world. Millions of Americans handled it daily without giving much thought to its history, but coin enthusiasts know that even modern pennies can hide astonishing secrets. The 1980 penny continued with the design that had become iconic. On the obverse was Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a portrait that had first appeared in 1909. Lincoln's image is instantly recognizable, symbolizing leadership and unity through some of the most difficult times in American history. The reverse of the 1980 penny featured the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo and introduced in 1959. This design was used to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and remained on the coin until 2008. If you look closely, within the columns of the memorial, you can even see a tiny engraving of the statue of Lincoln seated inside. It is a small but powerful detail that collectors love to point out. One of the interesting aspects of the 1980 penny is its composition. Unlike today's pennies, which are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating, the 1980 cent was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This gives the coin a heavier feel and a richer color, making it more appealing to many collectors. The 1980 penny was minted at several different facilities. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, those from Denver had a D mint mark, and San Francisco produced proof coins with an S mint mark. Each mint added its own contribution to the year's coinage, and each one carries collecting opportunities of its own. Philadelphia struck the highest number of pennies in 1980, producing hundreds of millions. These coins circulated widely, and while most are still only worth their face value, certain varieties or exceptionally well-preserved examples stand out as valuable treasures. The Denver Mint also struck a huge number of pennies in 1980. Many of these coins are found today in rolls, jars, or circulation, but as with Philadelphia issues, only the finest quality examples or unusual errors are highly sought after. San Francisco, however, produced proof coins in 1980. These were not intended for circulation but were instead sold directly to collectors. Proof pennies are struck with polished dies on specially prepared planchets, giving them sharp details and mirror-like finishes. A 1980s proof penny in perfect condition can be a dazzling addition to any collection. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1980 penny is the presence of error coins and varieties. The most famous among these is the double die obverse variety, where the inscriptions such as Liberty and In God We Trust appear doubled due to a mistake in the die-making process. These coins are rare, and when discovered in high grades, they can be worth a substantial amount. Other error types exist as well, including off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets. Each of these errors adds uniqueness and collectability to an otherwise common coin. Collectors are always on the lookout for these mistakes, knowing that they often translate into higher values. Condition plays a critical role in determining the worth of a 1980 penny. Coins that were preserved immediately after minting and never circulated are known as uncirculated or mint state. These coins can achieve high grades from professional grading services, making them especially desirable. For example, a 1980 penny graded MS67 or higher by a service such as PCGS or NGC can sell for significant premiums compared to lower grade examples. The difference in value between a coin pulled from circulation and one kept pristine is often dramatic. Proof coins from 1980 are another category that collectors cherish. With their frosted devices and mirror-like fields, they show off the artistry of Gasparo's design in exquisite detail. In top condition, these proofs are not just beautiful but also valuable. What makes the 1980 penny so captivating is how it blends everyday familiarity with hidden rarity. Almost every American has handled the 1980 penny at some point, yet very few realize that some of these coins are worth far more than they appear. This element of surprise keeps collectors motivated to search through pocket change and coin rolls. Auction houses and coin shows frequently highlight remarkable 1980 pennies when they appear. The rare double die obverse variety, for instance, has stunned collectors with impressive hammer prices. For those who specialize in Lincoln cents, owning such a coin is like holding a piece of modern treasure. The Lincoln cent series as a whole is one of the most collected in the world, and the 1980 edition contributes to that legacy. It represents a time when copper pennies were still in use, before the dramatic change in composition that came in 1982. This makes the 1980 penny one of the last of the classic copper-based cents. Collectors often recommend checking jars, rolls, and inherited collections for 1980 pennies. It is not unusual for these coins to sit unnoticed for decades, waiting for someone with a trained eye to recognize their true value. Some of the most remarkable finds in coin collecting history have come from such overlooked stashes. The appeal of the 1980 penny is not just financial but also historical. Each coin is a tiny time capsule from its era, carrying forward the image of Lincoln and the grandeur of the memorial into the modern age. For many collectors, owning such a coin is about preserving a piece of history. Lincoln himself remains one of the most admired presidents in U.S. history. His legacy of leadership during the Civil War and his commitment to equality and unity continue to inspire generations. Having his portrait on America's smallest coin serves as a daily reminder of his greatness. For the numismatic community, the 1980 penny is a reminder that not all valuable coins are ancient or rare in mintage. Sometimes, the real treasures are hidden in modern issues that millions of people overlook. The key lies in spotting the small differences, varieties, and conditions that make certain coins unique. The thrill of coin collecting often comes from these surprises. Imagine finding a 1980 penny in your change that turns out to be a rare double die or a near-perfect mint-state example. That moment of discovery is what keeps collectors passionate about their hobby. While most 1980 pennies are worth only their face value, a select few have achieved legendary status among collectors. These examples, often tied to rare varieties or exceptional preservation, prove that even a humble 1-cent coin can carry immense value. The marketplace for coins is driven by demand, rarity, and condition. In the case of the 1980 penny, all three factors align to create opportunities for collectors and investors alike. Those who understand these dynamics can turn ordinary finds into extraordinary treasures. In the end, the 1980 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is a story of artistry, history, and the excitement of the unexpected. It reminds us that value can be found in the most unlikely of places, even in something as small as a cent. For both new and seasoned collectors, the 1980 penny represents an opportunity. Whether you are searching through rolls, attending coin shows, or simply checking your pocket change, this coin offers the thrill of the hunt and the potential for great reward. And among the most extraordinary examples ever found, one 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny reached an astonishing value: $110,000. Top 4. The Lincoln cent has long been one of the most recognizable and enduring coins in American history, and the 1981 edition carries its own unique story. While at first it may appear to be just another penny, collectors know that coins from this year can hold surprising details, rare varieties, and in some cases, extraordinary value. By 1981, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 70 years. It was a coin deeply embedded in everyday life, exchanged in shops, tucked away in piggy banks, and saved in countless collections. Yet beneath its copper glow, the 1981 penny marked the end of an important era in American coinage. The 1981 penny was one of the last years the coin was made from the classic composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This traditional formula gave the penny its distinct weight and feel. Just 1 year later, in 1982, the U.S. Mint made the switch to mostly zinc with a thin copper coating, forever changing the penny's identity. This transition makes the 1981 penny particularly special. It represents the final chapter of the traditional copper cent, a coin that many collectors prefer for its durability and rich color. For this reason alone, the 1981 issue has a strong place in numismatic history. As with most Lincoln cents, the obverse of the 1981 penny features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This familiar image, first introduced in 1909, was revolutionary for its time, as it marked the first appearance of a real person on a circulating U.S. coin. By 1981, Lincoln's portrait had already become a symbol of stability and leadership in American coinage. The reverse of the coin displayed the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This reverse design had been introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Collectors often admire the fine detail of the memorial, where, if you look closely, the tiny seated statue of Lincoln can be seen between the columns. The 1981 penny was minted at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins had no mint mark, Denver pennies carried the familiar D, and San Francisco produced S mint mark coins, including proof issues for collectors. Each mint added to the year's production, but each one carries its own collecting interest. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of 1981 pennies. While most were destined for everyday use, a select few that survived in pristine condition today are worth far more than their face value. High-grade examples are especially sought after by collectors. The Denver Mint also contributed massive numbers of 1981 cents. As with Philadelphia, most ended up in circulation, but collectors value those struck with sharp detail and preserved without wear. Denver coins are often found in bank rolls or coin jars, waiting to be rediscovered. San Francisco produced both circulation and proof pennies in 1981. The proof coins, struck with polished dies and planchets, are admired for their mirror-like surfaces and crisp detail. Proof 1981's pennies in flawless condition remain popular and can fetch strong prices in the marketplace. What truly excites collectors about the 1981 penny are its varieties and errors. The most famous is the Type 1 and Type 2 proof variety from San Francisco. The difference lies in the mint mark. On Type 1, the S mint mark is weaker and less defined, while on Type 2, it is sharper and clearer. Collectors often seek both types to complete their sets. Double die obverse varieties are another highlight. These errors occur when the die strikes the design more than once at slightly different angles, resulting in doubling on the inscriptions or date. A 1981 penny with a dramatic double die can be worth far more than an ordinary example. Other minting errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or clipped planchets also exist for the 1981 cent. Each error tells a story of the minting process and adds uniqueness to the coin. Collectors are always hunting for these oddities, as they transform an ordinary penny into a conversation piece. The condition of a 1981 penny plays a crucial role in its value. Coins that remain in mint state, untouched by circulation, are especially prized. Grading services such as PCGS and NGC often evaluate these coins, with top-graded specimens commanding premium prices. Even among common coins, there are extraordinary standouts. A 1981 penny graded MS67 or higher can attract significant attention, especially if it features sharp details and a flawless surface. Collectors understand that the jump in value between average and high-grade coins can be dramatic. Proof coins from 1981 also continue to shine in collections. Their striking detail and glossy finish showcase the artistry of Gasparo's design in a way that circulation strikes cannot. Collectors often seek complete proof sets that include the 1981 cent, making it a cornerstone of modern coinage collections. What makes the 1981 penny particularly interesting is that it represents a bridge between the old and the new. On one side, it was one of the last full copper issues, a continuation of tradition. On the other, it stood on the edge of a new era, with zinc cents soon to replace the classic formula. This dual identity gives the 1981 penny a unique charm. Collectors appreciate it not only for its varieties and errors but also for its historical significance. It is a reminder of how even small changes in coinage reflect larger shifts in the economy and society. For many Americans, the 1981 penny was just everyday change. Yet for those who look closer, it is a coin filled with details, variations, and stories. This is what makes coin collecting so rewarding, the ability to see value where others see only the ordinary. Auction houses have seen remarkable results with rare 1981 pennies, particularly high-grade or error varieties. When such coins appear for sale, they often attract competitive bidding, proving that even modern coins can hold incredible worth. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors motivated. Searching through rolls of pennies or inherited jars often reveals hidden gems, and the possibility of uncovering a rare 1981 variety adds excitement to the hobby. Many legendary finds have been made this way. The Lincoln Cent series is among the most collected in the world, and the 1981 edition is an important part of that story. It offers lessons about the importance of composition, condition, and variety, while also reminding us of Lincoln's enduring legacy. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse continues to inspire. His leadership during the Civil War and his dedication to equality and unity remain powerful symbols, and having his image on America's smallest coin is a fitting tribute. For collectors, the 1981 penny is more than just a small piece of copper. It is a connection to history, a marker of change, and in some cases, a financial treasure. This combination of meaning and value makes it one of the most intriguing issues of the modern era. The enduring popularity of the 1981 penny shows that great discoveries can be made in unexpected places. Even coins from the late 20th century can hold extraordinary stories and surprising value. Every coin tells a story, and the 1981 penny tells one of transition, artistry, and hidden worth. It reminds us that no coin should be overlooked, because treasures can be hiding in the most ordinary corners. And among those treasures, one 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny has been known to reach a remarkable value, $106,000. Top 5. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American coinage for more than a century, and few years in its history are as fascinating as 1982. On the surface, the 1982 penny may look like just another small copper coin, but in reality, it marks one of the most significant transitions in the history of U.S. coin production. The year 1982 stands out because it was the year the United States Mint changed the composition of the penny. For decades, pennies had been made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, but due to rising copper prices, the mint shifted to a cheaper planchet made of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper plating. This change meant that pennies from 1982 can be found in both copper and zinc compositions, making it a unique year for collectors. It was the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, all captured in a single year's production. The copper pennies of 1982 carry a heavier feel, weighing about 3.1 grams, while the new zinc cents weigh only 2.5 grams. Collectors often use this weight difference to determine the composition of their 1982 pennies, since visually the two types look almost identical. Adding to the intrigue, the 1982 penny was produced with multiple varieties. Not only were both copper and zinc compositions struck, but the coins also came in both large date and small date styles. When you combine these factors across the different mints, it creates 7 major recognized varieties for 1982 pennies. The varieties include the 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982D large date copper, 1982D small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, and 1982D large date zinc. The 8th potential variety, the 1982D small date zinc, was unknown for many years, but eventually, rare examples surfaced, creating one of the most sought-after modern rarities. For collectors, this makes 1982 a year full of possibilities. Building a complete set of all the different types is a fun and challenging pursuit. It also makes the 1982 penny one of the most talked about modern issues in the Lincoln cent series. The obverse of the coin continued to feature the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, first designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His image had by then become a permanent fixture of American coinage, symbolizing leadership, freedom, and resilience. The reverse design in 1982 still carried Frank Isparo's depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. This design had served as a tribute to Lincoln's 150th birthday and featured remarkable detail, including the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Both designs together created a coin that was instantly familiar, yet the underlying changes in metal and production gave the 1982 penny an entirely new identity. This is what makes it so exciting to collectors, familiar on the outside, yet full of variety and mystery on the inside. Philadelphia produced 1982 pennies without a mint mark, while Denver struck coins with the D mint mark. San Francisco also contributed with proof coins marked with an S, though these were not made for circulation but for collectors. The proof coins from San Francisco were especially striking, with polished dies and mirror-like finishes. These 1982 S-proof cents highlight the artistry of the designs and remain popular among collectors who seek pristine examples. The Denver Mint, however, is at the center of one of the most famous stories in 1982 penny history. The discovery of the 1982 D small date zinc variety shocked collectors and instantly became one of the rarest modern Lincoln cents. Only a handful are known to exist, making them treasures of immense value. Even outside of that legendary rarity, errors and varieties from 1982 add layers of fascination. Double dies, off-center strikes, and other minting mistakes are highly collectible. Each error tells a story about the challenges of producing billions of coins in a time of transition. For collectors, one of the first steps in evaluating a 1982 penny is determining its composition. A simple scale can reveal whether the coin is copper or zinc, while the shape of the numbers and the date can distinguish between large and small date varieties. These details are essential for building a proper collection. Condition plays a huge role in value as well. Uncirculated 1982 pennies, particularly rare varieties, can sell for impressive prices when graded highly by services like PCGS or NGC. Even common varieties become more desirable in flawless condition. Proof coins also add another dimension to the 1982 lineup. Collectors treasure them not only for their beauty but also for their role in preserving the year's history in the sharpest detail possible. High-grade proofs often bring strong interest at auctions. What makes 1982 pennies so captivating is that they are both common and rare at the same time. Billions were struck, meaning most are still only worth face value. Yet within that sea of coins, rare treasures lurk, coins that can be worth thousands, or even more, if discovered in the right condition or variety. The story of the 1982 penny is really the story of change in American coinage. It shows how economic pressures, such as the rising price of copper, can lead to dramatic decisions that reshape even the smallest coin in circulation. Collectors love to study 1982 pennies not only for their potential value but also for the insight they provide into U.S. mint history. They serve as reminders that even modern coins can carry historical weight and hidden treasures. Auction houses have seen remarkable prices for rare 1982 pennies, especially the elusive 1982 D small date zinc. When one appears on the market, it attracts tremendous attention and bidding, as collectors compete for the chance to own such a rarity. Even beyond that variety, high-grade examples of other 1982 pennies have surprised collectors with their strong values. This proves that even coins as common as a penny can, under the right circumstances, become highly valuable. The thrill of finding a rare 1982 penny is part of what keeps coin collecting exciting. Many collectors have discovered treasures in bank rolls, inherited jars, or even pocket change. The possibility that such a valuable coin might be hiding in everyday places makes the 1982 penny legendary. Lincoln's enduring portrait ensures that the penny remains more than just currency. It is a piece of art, history, and national pride. In 1982, as the composition changed, that portrait remained unchanged, symbolizing continuity even in times of transition. The 1982 penny teaches us that coin collecting is about more than just age. Sometimes, the most fascinating coins are those that reflect change, variety, and surprise. This year's pennies embody all three, making them some of the most exciting coins of the modern era. For beginners, the 1982 penny is an excellent entry point into collecting. It offers a chance to learn about varieties, metal composition, and minting history, all through a coin that is still relatively easy to find. For seasoned collectors, it represents a challenge to track down the rarest varieties, especially in top condition. It is a coin that can elevate a collection from ordinary to extraordinary. Every coin has a story, and the story of the 1982 penny is one of change, variety, and hidden value. It reminds us to look closely, pay attention to detail, and never overlook even the smallest coin in our possession. And in the world of rare finds, one 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny has reached an extraordinary value, $103,000.